Imagine this. You're standing in a busy shopping mall, holding a small badge that says, "Plant at least one tree." Your goal is simple, to convince people to wear it. You approach the first person. They smile politely but walk away. The next person listens, nods, says, "Okay, I'll wear it," but slips it into their pocket and disappears into the crowd. One after another, people pass by, uninterested. You start to wonder, why is it so hard to make people care about something good? Then, you decide to change your approach. You walk up to someone and say, "Would you be willing to plant one tree to help the planet?" They pause. "That sounds like a lot of work," they reply, and leave. You try again. "Could you contribute just 50 amalias to help us plant one?" They hesitate again. "Sorry, not right now." Finally, you take a breath and say, "That's all right. But could you just wear this badge for one day, just to show your support for the cause?" This time, the response is different. More people smile. More people agree. They take the badge and they actually wear it. What changed? Why did the smallest request suddenly work? The answer lies in one of psychology's most powerful secrets: the art of influence. When you first ask for something big, people tend to say no. But when you follow that big request with a much smaller one, the one you really wanted all along, they're far more likely to say yes. This is called the door-in-the-face technique. The mind doesn't realize it's being guided. It simply feels a subtle sense of fairness, a need to make up for saying no the first time. So it gives in. That's the quiet power of influence. But persuasion isn't something that only happens between people. It also happens inside us, every single day. You want to wake up early, eat healthy, or start exercising. You know you should. You even plan it. But when the moment comes, your mind whispers, "Not today, maybe tomorrow." You believe it. You let yourself off the hook. You say, "I'm not lazy, I'm just tired." And the cycle continues. It's a small lie, but one we tell ourselves again and again. Not to harm, but to protect. To protect our ego, our comfort, our sense of control. This is self-deception, the most subtle and dangerous form of manipulation. We manipulate ourselves to escape guilt, failure, or discomfort. But in doing so, we also limit our own potential. Over time, these mental habits shape our reality. They build invisible walls between who we are and who we could become. Our brain creates these defense mechanisms through evolution, ways to protect us from emotional pain. But now, in the modern world, they often hold us back. Every excuse, every little justification. "I'll do it later. I didn't have time. It's not my fault." They are mental tricks, tricks that once kept us safe but now keep us small. And just as we unknowingly manipulate ourselves, we also manipulate others. Not always out of malice, sometimes out of fear or love or habit. But the effect is the same: misunderstanding, distance, conflict. That's why understanding the psychology of influence matters. Not to control others, but to free ourselves. It's like learning martial arts. Yes, you could use it to hurt someone, but its true purpose is defense. Once you understand how manipulation works, you're no longer vulnerable to it. Awareness becomes armor. In a world full of persuasion, from advertisements, politics, and relationships, the real challenge is not to learn how to influence others, but to learn how not to be controlled by them. To think clearly, to act consciously, to see through the tricks that play on our emotions. This understanding is not dark, it is empowering. Because knowledge of the dark makes you stronger in the light. If you look closely, you'll realize that true strength is not in changing others, but in mastering your own mind. The person who understands their own psychology, their fears, their impulses, their self-deceptions, becomes unshakable. They can't be manipulated by guilt, fear, or pressure. They can listen without being swayed and speak without being silenced. That is the real power of understanding influence. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," pause, ask yourself, is this my truth or my excuse? Because in the end, the deepest form of influence is not how we persuade others, but how we persuade ourselves.